Have you ever felt that spark inside of you? You know, that natural ability that others really do notice and maybe you take for granted. What if your greatest superpowers are hiding in plain sight, just waiting to be discovered? And here's a thought that might actually challenge everything you believe about what your potential is. What if the very things that you maybe dismiss as just part of who you are could be the most valuable gifts that you have to give to the world? Like, if any of this resonates with you, you're going to want to stick around for this video. Now, my name is Talbert. I'm the founder and author of the GIVER method. And today we're going to be diving into something that could really transform how you see yourself. And that's discovering your unique superpowers and learning how to use them to create real impact in the world, to step into who it is that you are meant to be. But before we dive in, if you're new here, of course, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, like the video, put your comments along the way, of course. You can also find us at thegivermethod.com, on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, all of those places. We don't want you to miss out on any of the content that we provide that helps you to unlock your potential and become a true giver. Now, I keep using this term giver, and a lot of other videos I have on the channel dive deep into it, but today we're going to be diving really deep, so I'm going to kind of move quickly over it. But GIVER is an acronym, and it's really a framework that focuses on helping you to discover and develop your unique gifts and superpowers so that you can create value for others while building meaningful relationships. When you do this, there are multiple things that you get in return. One is relationship riches by having those more meaningful relationships. One of them is that you are able to step into who it is that you are meant to be. And then, of course, one of the big ones that I see all the time is that when people develop their gifts and superpowers and they give them and deliver value without expecting anything in return, that the universe has a way of paying you back. It doesn't happen every time, but I've seen it happen time and time again. So I want to dive into these. I want to explore what it could look like. Now, as I do, I'm going to cover the idea, the principle, the thing that focuses on how you can discover these gifts and superpowers. And as I do, I typically cover the thing. I may share a story along the way, but I always provide an action item after every principle. And so I highly recommend that you grab a piece of paper, open up a note, and you jot down your thoughts about those action items as we go. Because yeah, it's great that you're watching this video and that you're investing that time in yourself to help identify these gift superpowers so you can make greater impact. But the true power of this is when you put it into action. And so these action items, I designed them to be things that you could do today or this week or this month. So start taking your notes on it, jot down your thoughts so that you can start taking those actions and really start stepping into who it is that you're meant to be and start working towards making that greater impact in the world using your gifts and superpowers. So let's dive into it. Let's explore these principles that are going to help you uncover and embrace what your unique superpowers are. Now, the first principle I often refer to as it's the mirror effect, or it's the mirror of your daily life. Your superpowers are often, hide in plain sight. Your superpowers, they live in the details of the day-to-day, of your day-to-day life. They're hidden actions that are just so natural to you that you may overlook their significance. These are the things that honestly, you do without effort. The ways you instinctively solve problems, the insights that you are able to offer without even thinking twice. These are the qualities that others might repeatedly acknowledge or compliment you for, even when you don't see them as special. So when someone says oh, you're really good at listening, or I always come to you advice, or organization, these are probably hints that you're tapping into some sort of a natural strength. So to uncover these gifts, pay close attention to what others naturally seek your help for. It's not about picking the obvious tasks you excel at, but noticing maybe more subtle actions that you may take for granted. Often, those great strengths, they're just hidden, in what feels so ordinary, but it provides so much real value to other people. So the action item for this one is going to be to start a natural gift. I believe in journaling. So in a journal, write out I've got my natural gifts section of the journal, and keep it close at hand throughout the week. Each time someone thanks you or comes to you for help, jot down the details. What did they need? How did you respond? Are there any patterns that you start to notice as you're tracking those? And at the end of the week, review the entries. Look for the repeat themes. Do certain qualities or abilities come up a lot? And these patterns, they're going to often reveal some of those core gifts and qualities that you may be overlooking, but others deeply value in you. My second principle is you actually have to think back to your childhood. You have to do this childhood connection, because our earliest passions often hold clues to our superpowers. So when we reflect on our childhood, it can be like peering through a window into our most authentic self. Before society got in the way and responsibilities and expectations shaped what your choices are, what activities captured your attention? What hobbies or subjects filled you with wonder and excitement? Like, these early passions often reveal strengths that remain with us even if we haven't used them for many years. Like, for example, if you loved drawing as a child, you might have a natural talent for visual storytelling and creativity, even if your career didn't follow that artistic path. Like, by revealing different types of interests, you can really ignite the spark of your natural gifts, bringing long-lost strengths back into focus. So embracing these early interests allows you to reconnect with those activities that brought you that brought your best qualities out and laid the foundation for really unique abilities that you have. And so the action item here is going to be to take some time to reflect on your childhood by creating maybe like some sort of a timeline of your interests from the earliest memories you have up through teenage years. Like, include any activities or hobbies, dreams that that captivated you, no matter how small or forgotten they may seem or how distant they may seem from who you are today. Do it. Just record what each of those may be. Once you have a timeline, choose one of those activities that still resonates with you, that jumps out to you, and spend an hour this week engaging with it. And notice how it feels. Do you experience any sort of a spark of familiarity or joy? Like, this exercise, it can reconnect you with passions that you hold, that are seated down in you from your past, and really point towards and build up to your unique strengths. Now, the third principle, I believe that oftentimes we don't see it. We can't, even when we self-reflect, there's things we just can't find. So I believe the third principle is all about this idea of creating some sort of a feedback loop, because we don't see gifts clearly, like as clearly as others do. And it's because we often downplay our own talents, thinking that, hey, it's just normal. Like, when they're actually really exceptional. This happens a lot for me when I'm trying to create content for work. So many things I just feel are normal and natural. I'm like, oh, well, that doesn't provide value to people. But then I'll be in front of somebody and I'll be like, oh, well, that's this. And they're like, oh my gosh, that's life-changing. I'm like, oh my gosh, to me, that's just easy. That's a normal thing. And so what you want to do here is you want to seek feedback from trusted friends or colleagues or mentors that can hopefully reveal the superpowers you may not have fully acknowledged. Ask them to share instances where they've seen you at your best, where your natural talents have shown through. You might really be surprised to discover consistent themes that point towards these strengths that you didn't recognize. So listening to these reflections offers some sort of a new perspective, helping you to really see those abilities through the lens of others, and often hearing how our actions or our skills impact others can really shed light on the gifts that maybe we've been taking for granted. So the action item here is, one of the ones that I cover in the book, even the GIVER Method book that's coming out next month, is like, reach out to 5 people you know, and what I want you to do, like people you know really well, clearly, and I want you to ask, like, what do you see as my unique gift? What do you see as my superpower when it comes to helping others? So choose individuals that are different parts of your life, family, friends, colleagues, mentors, so that you can receive some diverse perspectives. Listen carefully to their responses without judgment, without interruption. Afterward, really reflect on any surprises or consistent themes that come up in their answers. And this process, it will reveal gifts that are natural to you that you just don't fully recognize the value that they're offering other people. Our fourth principle is creating an energy gauge. So energy is a powerful indicator of your superpowers. When you're using natural gifts, you often feel more energized and alive, even if the task requires effort. Unlike tasks that drain you, these activities create a sense of fulfillment, leaving you feeling invigorated rather than exhausted. For example, if you're energized helping someone solve complex problems, it might mean that problem solving is one of your gifts. So pay attention to how you feel after different activities as you go throughout your day. Notice where your energy naturally rises and can give you, valuable insights into the areas where your strengths are at play. So this principle really helps distinguish between tasks that bring out your best self and those that leave you depleted. I know that one of the things I do is I like to build cosplay armor. I like to build big Halloween things. I have a big 6-foot dinosaur in my backyard, and we built a big, AT-AT, 10-foot tall AT-AT from Star Wars, and we're creating a lava flow in our front yard this year. So I love to do these things. I lose track of time, and it's like there are gifts and there are skills that are in there that I want to take advantage of more, and I try to find the ways that I can incorporate those into daily life. So find those things. So your action step is that throughout this next week, observe where your energy levels are during different activities, different interactions. Like I said, when I'm working on these projects, my energy's high and I'm excited and I'm happy and I'm really looking forward to showing them to other people. So you probably want to set specific times to make notes, like maybe in the morning, midday, evening, and jot down, like, what were you doing and how did you feel afterwards? Was I energized? Was I neutral? Or did I feel drained? And at the end of the week, review your notes and see if there are any patterns. Do any certain tasks really lift you up? Do any exhaust you completely? Recognize these energy patterns. It's going to help you to clarify the activities where natural gifts where your natural gifts are just most engaged. And so then that moves us into our fifth principle, which is you have to become like an impact observer, because sometimes our superpowers are best seen through the impact that they have on others. There's a ripple effect of our actions. And, as you look at this, they inspire support. Like they inspire, they can be support. It can help those around us. Often, like these things reveal natural strengths that we're doing. So think about the moments when you've unintentionally made a difference in someone's life, or maybe helped them in ways that just really felt effortless. Like these instances often are clues to your unique abilities that you might be overlooking. Observe the subtle ways your actions affect those around you. If people often thank you for your advice or lean on you when they're in a challenge, like these are indications that your strengths are naturally influencing others. Like these quiet impacts, like they speak to the true potential for you to create more value. So your action item here is to, once again, in a journal, focus on the impact. What's that impact I can make? So throughout the week, like at the end of each day, what I want you to do is take a few minutes to reflect on ways that maybe you unintentionally helped someone. Like it could be advice you gave, small acts of kindness, or a skill that you used to make someone's day easier. And write down what those are and notice how the other person responds or how they felt afterwards. And by observing this sort of a ripple effect of the actions you're taking, you're going to gain a better understanding of how your unique gifts and superpowers are positively impacting others. Now, the sixth principle is all about flow. So we talked about energy. This one's going to be very similar and have a similar action item. So you got to find your flow. When you experience that flow, you're in a state where everything just clicks and you lose track of time because you're fully immersed in what, you're fully immersed in what you're doing at that point. That flow, like it's an indicator that you're engaging with just natural gifts and skills. And when you're in flow, like we're not just enjoying the task, we're applying our abilities in ways that feel both maybe challenging, they can feel satisfying. It's often these moments where we're operating at like our highest potential, using our gifts in ways that just feel aligned and fulfilling. And so reflect on moments when you've entered this sort of a flow state. What were the activities you were doing? Like where were your strengths or skills like fully engaged? And identify different interactions, and that way you can reveal areas where your superpowers just naturally shined through, guiding you to what truly aligns with your capabilities. And so action item here is pretty simple. Set random alarms, like I said, times throughout the day. And so throughout this week, set some random alarms. When each alarm goes off, pause and take note of what you're doing and how engaged you feel. Are you focused? Are you losing track of time? Are you completely absorbed in that task? Like these are great ways for you to spot when you've entered into some sort of a flow state. And at the end of the week, review the moments and look for the patterns in those activities. Identifying when you were in a flow can really point towards those natural talents or the conditions that you need to be in that allow you to thrive. Now, the next principle is looking at your challenges, the adversity that you've been through, because often our biggest challenges help us discover hidden strengths. When we face adversity, like we're focused to dig deep, draw on our resilience. Like we have to be creative. We have to have courage. Even though it may be something that we don't know what we're going to do, and we may be drawing on things that we may not know that we have inside of us. And so reflecting on challenges you've overcome can highlight strengths that maybe emerged during those difficult times. For instance, if you navigated some sort of a tough personal situation with empathy and patience, like those are traits that are key components to potential superpowers. So embrace these lessons from your challenges, from the obstacles you've had. They really do show us what we're capable of when we push through our limits, and remind us of our toughest experiences have equipped us with really unique strengths. And so this perspective allows us to see challenges not as setbacks, but as a stepping stone towards growth and self-discovery. So action item here is going to be like, take some time and reflect on maybe 3 challenges or obstacles that you've overcome in your life. And for each one, write down the circumstances, write down how you handled them and maybe what qualities you drew upon. Were you resilient? Were you adaptable, resourceful, empathetic? And look for the strengths that emerged as you navigated those tough situations. By doing this, you're going to begin to see how that challenge, that obstacle, has helped to shape or reveal powerful qualities that are uniquely yours. And then, of course, our final principle is about creating value for others. Now, our superpowers become most apparent when we actually are trying to create values for others. Like, think about the moments when you've made someone's life easier, you've solved a problem, you've added, to a meaningful situation through your unique abilities. Like, these are the times when your strengths just naturally surface because, they're helping others in a way that's impactful and authentic. And so when you give through your gifts and superpowers, like, we not only benefit from those around us, but we also experience a deeper sense of fulfillment. So pay attention to these moments when you're creating value for others in this way. Like, they will reveal how your abilities contribute to the world around you, pointing directly to some of your most authentic strengths. Like, these principles encourage you to use your gifts intentionally and build a sense of purpose through meaningful contribution. So the action item here is going to be that each day this week, choose one of your maybe suspected superpowers from the work you've done and use it to help someone really intentionally. It could be offering advice or, lending a skill or just listening closely to someone in need. And at the end of the day, note the results, like both the impact on the person you helped and how you felt about it. Like, when you do this exercise, it's going to deepen your understanding of your superpowers and how they can create value in others' lives, leading to more intentional and impactful giving. As you go through these principles, as you go through these action items, there's going to be some challenges that come up. And so I like to call out some of those challenges and give you maybe some advice on things you could do. Like, one of them is going to be all around self-doubt. You thinking but I'm not sure if what I do is special enough. Could it be called a superpower? Like, remember, a superpower isn't about being the best at something. It's just about your unique way of creating value for others. You maybe fall into that comparison bucket where it's like others seem to have more impressive gifts than me. Like, look, your superpowers are uniquely yours. You are the only person who's been through your series of experiences and circumstances and built up these gifts and superpowers that you have. You're the only one that can deliver them the way that you can deliver them. So don't compare yourself to others. Like, they don't need to look like anyone else's to be valuable. One of the ones I hear is overwhelmed because there's so many possible gifts that I could have. How do I know which ones to focus on? Well, start with those that just come the most natural to you. Like, your clearest superpower will be the ones that just feel so effortless. Because as you're doing this, discovering your superpowers it's not about finding something new. It's about recognizing and embracing those things that you've had in you all along. Start paying attention to the things that you do naturally, the moments when you lose track of time, you're in that flow, and the ways that you effortlessly help people. Remember, your superpowers, they aren't just for you, they are meant to be shared. The world is waiting for you to share them. So when you discover and embrace your unique gifts and superpowers, you're gonna open up opportunities to create meaningful impact in ways that only you are able to. Now, if you want to dive deeper into this idea of discovering your superpowers, making greater impact, delivering value, having those relationship riches, then I encourage you to go to thegivermethod.com, sign up for our newsletter to receive exclusive tips and insights on developing your gifts and superpowers. Also, you can sign up to get notice for the book that's going to be coming out in about a month, which is super exciting. Hopefully you can go do that. Go find us on TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, follow us, make a comment over there. Hey, if this video resonated with you, give it a thumbs up, please. Maybe share it with someone who might be on their own journey of self-discovery, and let's spread that power of unleashing hidden superpowers. Until next time, I really hope that we all keep growing and keep giving, and remember that your superpowers are waiting to be discovered. Discovering your superpowers isn't a one-time event. It's a journey of continuous exploration. Each time you use your gifts to help others, you understand them more deeply and uncover new ways to create a greater impact. And so until next time, we will catch you in the next video. Have a great rest of your day.